All right, as we broadcast from the Syngenta booth, another busy place here on the exhibit floor at the National Farm Machinery Show, Sara Gehant is with us. She is an agronomic service representative from Kentucky joining us now. Sara, thank you very much. You have a lot here, a lot of corn boxes for people to see, and they are taking a look. Tell us what you have.
Oh, this is an exciting project. We've been working on it for the last 12 years. We've had live plant demonstrations here at the, we're featuring, we try to showcase those issues that are pertinent to growers that are in growing row crops here today. We've got black cutworm infested corn, which features our Agrosure Viptera trait showing the performance for black cutworm control, as well as live fall armyworm infestations too. So you're able to see actually the pests that you face on your farm in our box, one of our planter boxes.
I think that has been a draw here each year at the National Farm Machinery Show. The live plants that farmers can come in, take a look at, and relate to, and then ask questions about.
Well, we started about 12 years ago because we realized it's the National Farm Machinery Show, but fundamentally growers grow crops and they want to see crops. And so when we brought the planter boxes in and you see the big lights over the top of them, and we've got corn that's at V6, it's nearly chest tall, it makes growers think that springtime's around the corner. And it is around the corner. So we grow them in a greenhouse about an hour and a half west of here with a grower by the name of Mac Estes, who just does a phenomenal job. Without Mac, we wouldn't be able to have the show that we have here.
Let's talk a little bit about Syngenta's corn portfolio.
Yeah, we've got a large corn seed portfolio, of course. We've recently, as a strategy within the company, we've merged our seed, our crop protection, and our seed care businesses into one organization. So now our sales reps can work with individual farmers and retailers from both seed variety selection, corn and beans, as well as seed care and crop protection. The customer now can call one person for all those product questions that he might have.
As you're talking with farmers here in the state of Kentucky, what are you hearing? I mean, are they thinking about shifting more to corn, more to soybeans? What are you hearing?
Well, I'm seeing a big shift to the corn acre. Of course, pricing, commodity prices is driving that. And I think some of the issues we're going to face this year, it's been 50 degrees for the last 3 months, more or less. And so the number of pests we're going to face on the corn acre from insect pressure, normally we lose a lot of insect pests through the freezing and the thawing. I would expect insect pressure, disease pressure, those things to be quite a bit higher going into the spring. So growers are really going to have to monitor black cutworm. These fields are all green. They're all housing black cutworm. You're going to have a lot of insect pressure that will be much higher this year because we haven't had the hard winter to thin things out.
I think a lot of corn growing areas are going to be dealing with that because of the mild winter. And what do you talk about with the farmers in looking ahead, preparing for that?
You know, what we got to do is we need to get out there early and look at our fields and what we've got going on. The winter annuals, the henbit, the chickweed, the carpetweed, those weeds are really upgoing and they're quite a bit bigger than what you have. So when you're looking at your burn down programs this spring, you're probably going to be using higher rates. We've got growers that will be doing burn down programs in March and then actually doing pre-emerge programs with Lexar at planting and then coming back with Halix GT in crop. Another exciting market that we got a lot of interest in is using Quilt Excel at the early timing between corn with V4 to V8 in height. We're seeing tremendous yield advantages and reduction in lodging by fungicide applications at that timing when the ear's being formed. So growers are really trying to maximize yields and we're looking at doing different things to do just that.
I think with these prices, maximizing yield is really critical. And you touched on something we talk a lot about, is how important it is to get that weed management program up and going right away. Don't get behind.
Absolutely, and in one of the boxes here, we call it our leaf orientation box, and what it shows is that even if you take weeds out early, when they're 3 or 4 inches tall in crop, it's had a negative impact on that crop. The crop is putting more energy into the top growth of the plant than the root growth, and it's a very nice demonstration here where you can actually see how the reduction of root mass would carry through the season to reduce yield. So we got to start going back to the fundamentals and getting weeds under control before they even come up. There's never a positive situation to have weeds developing in your crops.
Because you could lose potential yield early on and never get that back.
We've underestimated the negative impact of weeds. We've heard weed drag and this, that, and the other thing, but we're allowing, even if we're taking weeds out there 3 or 4 inches tall, because we have the variable soils, because there's so much in agriculture that we can't control, we need to take advantage of the things that we can control. Weed control, insect control, disease control are all in the hands of the grower to control. So by gosh, when we can't control a lot, we need to control the things we can.
You mentioned the mild winter you've had in Kentucky. How's your moisture been?
We've had tremendous moisture. We're probably at a much higher moisture right now than what we've had in the past. We could stand to have things dry out, but I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about moisture. I've had a grower tell me, moisture in January doesn't make corn in July, but I'd rather start with a season like we've got right now.
You find that farmers are already making plans and, looking ahead already?
At this show, it's a really good thermometer of what you're going to see. And the number of questions we're getting as we stand in front of the box. We have about 80,000 farmers that come to this show daily for 4 days. And the questions we're getting is, how can I do better? What herbicide programs are working? When we face resistance management, we face rootworm pressure, we really are seeing more decision making taking place earlier in preparation. And with corn supply being somewhat limited due to the difficult season we had last year, we certainly see corn and soybean seed selection taking place much early.
That was going to be my next question. What is the supply situation?
Well, I think you go to all the seed companies, and we want to provide the highest quality seed corn that we can. And that means that not only do we harvest it, but then we've got to grade it, and only the best seed is going to make it. And that's all the seed corn companies. But you would be prudent as a grower, if you have your heart set on the top yielding hybrids for your farm, to get out there and get them purchased. This is not the time to be doing in-season purchase for corn seed.
What kind of year was it here in Kentucky for corn growers last year?
We had a good year in Kentucky. We had a hot year, but it was a good year. It was the upper Midwest where pollination was inhibited because we had some severe heat during pollination, which really did hurt the overall seed production. Kentucky had a really good year. We were in a double crop soybean market, so our wheat acreage is going to be up this year. Corn acreages go up, and they fight for acres of what they're going to put on. And growers it's a very progressive state here in Kentucky, and they maximize yields on the acres they have.
It's going to be an interesting acre fight, I think, this year to see you. As you said, corn has a lot of attraction, but there'll be other factors in there. Weather always plays a part in some of those decisions as well. Sarah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mark. We want to welcome everybody to come down to the National Farm Machinery Show. It's a great opportunity, whether you're in agriculture or not, to see exactly how good we are at our jobs as agricultural professionals at the farmer, retailer, and the supplier level.
Thank you. Sara Gehant, she's the agronomic service representative for the state of Kentucky for Syngenta. Now